The Environmental Farm Plan was introduced in 1993. Since then, more than 35,000 Ontario farmers have participated in the program that promotes environmentally sustainable practices. Environmental Farm Plan workshops are organized and delivered locally by the Ontario Soil and Crop Improvement Association. Workshop leader Margaret May explains why the workshops are an important first step in the process of developing and implementing a successful plan for your farm.
Workshop allows primary producers to work their way through a workbook, assess their business against a set of best management practices, learn about legislation, identify potentials for environmental risk within your business, and then move forward and draft action plans to help mitigate those risks. You also have an opportunity to share your situation and learn from the other participants in the room, so it's a win-win for everybody.
During the two-day workshop, May helps farmers work through the Environmental Farm Plan workbook. Through this process, participants assess their farm's strengths and identify areas of concern in up to 23 different areas on their farm. May also reviews the workbooks to offer suggestions and ensure all requirements are addressed.
The workbook deals with fuel, wells, pesticides, fertilizer, soil management, pest management, manure management, natural areas on your farm, so everything. Once you work your way through that book and develop your action plan, then it's handed in to me as the workshop leader for review. It's confidential, it's anonymous, and I don't take any data off that plan. It's returned to the farmer at the end of the process, and then that's the time for them to take action and implement their plan.
Andrew Campbell milks 60 cows with his family on their dairy farm near Strathroy, Ontario. He says the workshop process really helps farmers understand how they can impact the environment.
So I took my first EFP workshop about 5 years ago. It was the time that I was coming home to farm and thought it was an important thing to have. And so certainly, in that workshop, it was one of those, eye-openers in terms of, little things you can do to have a big impact. So we always looked after those big picture things. We tried to avoid, big manure spills, but to be able to look at little things like just barnyard runoff or fuel spills and managing them and things like that was something that we thought was pretty important out of that workshop.
Manure management is a big part of Campbell's Environmental Farm Plan. Part of his action plan included a new manure pit required for the expanding dairy farm. He's also working to implement many smaller improvements he identified during his workshop.
It's obviously really important that we all look after the environment we're around, and we all want to do that, but to get some real examples, I think, was one of the big things we took out of that. I mean, yes, it's a two-day workshop, but it's 2 days that lasts for, 5 years. And it does give you some really great takeaways and maybe things around the farm that you didn't think about that you can make improvements on. And then obviously if you are making some improvements, there's probably a bit of funding there to help. So all of a sudden, that 2 days of workshop pays back pretty quickly if that funding comes through.
The Ontario Soil and Crop Improvement Association offers a variety of free workshops and webinars to help take your farm's profitability, productivity, and sustainability to the next level. To find an Environmental Farm Plan workshop near you, visit ontariosoilcrop.org.